Hey HUV. So I wanted to talk to you about Game of Thrones last night because, well, we've all been there, we've all seen it, and if you haven't watched that episode and you're watching this video, then you don't even deserve the spoiler warning that I'm giving you. You don't deserve that. But yeah, I'll give it anyway because I'm a nice guy. So, like the spoiler beacons, here we go. So I did not like this. I'm just going to come out and say it. This season so far has really upped the game. This finale, it just felt like they'd run out of steam by the end. Not a lot of resolution. I mean, everyone we checked in on everybody, which is fine, but not a lot of. I wouldn't even be generous for me to call it cliffhanger. It's not even really that. It's just okay. So a lot of stuff happens. Theon finally snaps out of it, and so much as he throws that psycho bitch off the wall, and she falls down. There's a little splat, and I was like, fuck yeah! All right, there's one person getting what they deserve. And then him and Sansa. Okay, oh fuck, he's coming back, and rather than risk spending any more time with Ramsay and seeing what happens there, they both jump off the wall. It cuts, and we don't know if they survive. We don't know. We don't know if the snow is deep enough to hold them. We don't know. There's just so much unanswered there. Same with Stannis. I mean, the episode opens nobody wants to follow a guy who's gonna ritually sacrifice his own daughter. So all the mercenaries are gone with the horses. He's like, and Stannis just goes, okay, start here. The siege will start at midnight. He's like, one of the guys like, it's not going to be a siege, Your Grace. And you just see all the horses coming out, and it's we don't even get to see the battle. We don't even get to see that. But fuck me, it must have been a massacre because nobody's left standing. Not even Stannis, the man himself. Well, actually, sidebar that. So I predicted that he would meet Brienne because those two are in the same place, and it just felt too opportunistic. But here, there's the other thing that Brienne is keeping watch for Sansa. It's like, if she ever needs help, tell her to put a window in this, or tell her put a candle in this window, and I'll come running. She doesn't see it because she goes off so she can get revenge on Stannis, because that's all she's been focused on for the past little while. And then it's just And then after the battle, Stannis takes down two more guys, but you can see he's just done. I mean, his wife hung himself. Melisandre in a massive dick move just up and left, just rode out. She's like, oh, she left the camp before dawn. He's like, we can't go forward. He's been so utilitarian and so single-minded, so focused on getting the throne, and not for any selfish reasons. Not he's not a wicked guy. He's like, this is my duty. This is what I'm meant to do. This is my destiny. I'm meant to get this. I'm meant to get the Iron Throne. And I was rooting for him until he burned his daughter. And you can see, by this time, the guy's lost everything. So whenever Brienne comes, it's almost a relief. He's like, go on, do your duty. That's all he has. It's the most Stannis answer of all time. I loved it. Great moment, but they cut away. And that just, again, it's such a cock tease. There's so little resolution. It's like, we don't know if Brienne killed Stannis. We don't know if Sansa and Theon have survived the fall. And more going on. I mean, we see that Tyrion is now a stand-in behind the scenes King of Marine with Missandei and Grey Worm, the public face of that, and Varys and Tyrion working. I was so happy to see Varys again. I'm glad he got another appearance before the end, but even albeit briefly. Liked that. That was good. Just coming back, and so I like that. They're going to get shit done. We know that they're going to tidy up the city, and that's going to impress them. We'll see what happens whenever Daenerys comes back. Cut to Daenerys. She's on top of a mountain somewhere with Drogon, who won't take her home because he just doesn't want to go. He's like, no, fuck it. Look at all my bones. I'm just going to hang here. He's just being a spoiled teenager dragon. She escapes, and then she gets surrounded by Dothraki. She drops her wedding ring, just kind of I think that was sort of like a Pippin move, in the Two Towers when Pippin drops that brooch, and then Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli are like, oh, he's close. I like that. That was clever. Just slyly drops that. You know, she sees one horse, then 4 horses, then a dozen, and it's just destroying them. And it's interesting. Like, she could be kidnapped by them because she, you know, the Dothraki don't trust her, or are they going to be like, oh my God, Khaleesi, and then bend the knee? We don't really know. Like I said, no resolution. That was the only cliffhanger that I could get on board with. Well, that and one more. Well, I mean, okay, the Melisandre showed up at Castle Black. That's not a coincidence. I don't believe that. She shows up, and you can see, like, she's just broken. As much as I really hated her for deserting Stannis, but at the same time, you can see she doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to talk to anyone. Jon Snow's like, Stannis? He's like, no. And Davos is like, you know, the Queen, Princess Shireen. She does not reply, and you can see, like, for a moment, his face just killed me. Just, oh, the heartbreak. And if he doesn't even know the half of it, oh my God. But yeah, like on the Arya storyline as well, she's blind now. But I don't think that. I mean, I read the books, but that doesn't really matter anymore. I can see, like, fucking Matt Murdock's blind. Look what he can do. You know, I would love to see that, like, as some sort of really cool female blind assassin. I would love that. I would love that for Arya. Just, you know, behave yourself and learn. Although that guy needed to die. I don't care what Jack in the Car said. He needed to fucking die. You don't just do that. You don't just go into a brothel, ask for the youngest girls, and then beat them up. You know, just beat them with sticks and then start gut punching them. I don't care where you're from. Yeah, no, and then so she lost her sight. That's interesting. But for as much as this season got right, there was so much that they just kept, so many storylines that just kept plodding along. The Dornish storyline was another one. Arya's storyline was good, but it wasn't as exciting as I thought it might have been. The Dorne storyline, again, just felt really pointless, especially because at the very, very last, Myrcella was poisoned by a kiss on the lips by the mother of the Sand Six. What's her name again? Valeria. She takes a wee vial of the antidote at the end. She's like, she's fine. She throws the tissue in the sea, which is fine. But her whole reasoning for revenge is dumb because Oberyn. I don't know. I've explained this before. It doesn't work. It's not worth getting into again. I don't like it. It's dumb. It's just, yeah. And the Night's Watch. I'm going to cover this now. Okay. Obviously, Sam is the only one who gets a happy ending because he gets the fuck out of Dodge. Tyrion has been sorely underused this season, but I don't mind it. You know, he's come back into his own. I'd like to see him sort of cleaning up shop next season. That'd be cool. Oh my God, how can I forget Cersei on her walk of shame, her walk of atonement through the streets. You know, she admits to fucking Lancel. She doesn't admit to. She knows the ramifications of it. She admits that she had kids with her brother. She knows they'll all be flogged and, like, hung and drawn and quartered. It's not worth it. She'll never admit to that. But she confesses to Lancel, so she goes. So she goes home. They cut her hair, strip her nude, wash her of all her sins, get this monstrous woman to just monotonously ring a bell and go shame, shame, and just parade her through the streets. And as you know, that was tremendously done, because as it goes on, it just gets worse. Like, you see one person get, you know, just where he comes up and he's like, cunt! And, you know, and then it just gets worse. There's this tirade of insults and abuse that comes through as this woman is just really stoically, really silently. And as she stumbles, you see her feet are wrecked to bits. You know, she gets shit, and literal shit, and things thrown at her. Prostitutes, and there's one guy who's like, I want her to suck my dick, and he just jumps out, cacks down, like, dude, did you really think that was gonna happen? Come on. And then he gets pushed out of the way, and then they deliver her back to the Red Keep. You know, her Uncle Kevin's there, and Pycelle's there. She's a mess. She's a quivering wreck. You know, for anyone who's wanted Cersei to get her comeuppance for 5 years, consider it done. But at the last, we see. So was it Sir Robert Strong, or whatever we're calling the Mountain, who is not the Mountain now? this Frankenstein mountain who shows up, and he's like, oh, he's sworn that he won't speak until the Queen's enemy, your Grace's enemies are destroyed. And you can just see the face where she just gets, her face just changes. She's like, oh yeah. So that's it. So she's still got one or two tricks up her sleeve. She's got motivation now. But by and large, she got hers, man. She got hers. And then I'm going to touch on Jon Snow. It was really mean what they did, where he's just sitting in his office and they're like, "Oh, Commander, they think you find some information on your uncle. We don't think he's dead." You know, right, fucking Benjen Stark, right from the start, right from way back when. Whenever, you know, right the first season, where his uncle goes north in like the second or third episode, and you never see the guy again. That's dumb. I mean, just bringing that way to twist the wound, man. It was dirty pool. They bring him down. He's like, "Where's the wildling?" He's in here, and you just see a sign that says "traitor." And you just see he turns around. And he's like, "What is this?" And then Alistair Thorne walks up. And he's like, "For the watch, for the watch, for the one." He's just the punch every time it happens. There's the shock and the pain, and then the last person to come in is Ollie, and I was like, "That little shit." And you can see his reluctance for a moment until Jon says his name, and then his face just hardens. And he's like, "For the watch." Like, he can't stand it. None of them can see the bigger picture like Jon can. None of them have seen what Jon's seen. And even if they have, they don't care. It's just, yeah. It borders on bad writing. It's like we don't care. These are our enemies. We don't care if you tell us otherwise. I mean, even the wildlings were able to put their shit aside and like go follow the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. It baffles me why his own men were going to do this, but I loved how it was done. It was very Julius Caesar. You see that? Just like, you know, very et tu Brutus, man. That impressed me a heck of a lot. Direction on that was great, but it's just so silent the way he just drops to the snow and you just see him bleeding out, like all the life goes out of his eyes. Impressive. I enjoyed that. That being said, there's no way he's dead. There's no way. I was expecting I kept watching his eyes in the last because I thought he was going to warg. I just thought his eyes were going to go, you know, and that'd be it. We see like a ghost running through or something. That would have been cool. Didn't happen though, alas. But yeah, like I said, I don't think I can't see him be dead. I mean, it's not a coincidence that Melisandre's there, unless it's all just a massive double bluff, and they really are fucking with us. But I don't see that happening. So yeah, I mean, it would be tragic if it was. And Kit Harington has said that. Oh no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not coming back into this show. You know, I've spoken to the writers about it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sacked, mate." So. Yeah. Fuck it. Fuck him. Stephen Amell said the same thing during that mid-season point of Arrow. That don't mean shit, okay? He was all like, "Oh, thanks, guys. I mean, this show was always about more than just one guy." And I'm like, fuck off. You came right back. All right. They did a good job of teasing us that this character might be dead. I can't wait for the next season. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things we need to pick up on, but there's so little resolution. There's so little. I mean, nothing was really wrapped up. We saw things culminate, except for that battle at Winterfell, which was all just sort of neatly done and done. They didn't even spare them. We saw them all just surrounding them, and it was like, "We're done for." Yeah, you're fucking done for. It's done. We see Drogon again. Don't see him in flight, but we just get to see him like he's sitting there in a nest full of bones, and he's like, I'm done. I'm good." You know, I can't see. I mean, she has a dragon on her beck and call. She'll be fine. Like I said, I like this season. Game of Thrones season 5, very slow to start. Picked up the fuck. Like 2 or 3 episodes in. No, it's like maybe 3 or 4 episodes in. Things really started moving. But just it feels like since then, well, no, that's disservice. It's had some of the best moments in TV I've ever seen. It's had me shouting in exultation, despair, horror, amazement, and anytime TV can evoke that reaction, it's glorious. It's what you look for in a TV show. The finale left me somewhat underwhelmed. I don't know if they blew their wad, throughout most of the season, but those are my thoughts. And this is a video on my thoughts. If you like the Game of Thrones finale, then feel free to comment below and tell me what an idiot I am. But hey, if you did like this video, please click like, subscribe, view, share, and all the usual jazz, and I'll see you later on YouTube. Goodbye.